Welcome back. ODHtv, Raising Kanan Season 4, Episode 3. I just finished watching this episode, and I have to say, I'm a little disappointed. Maybe I was expecting too much from this social commentary episode, but let's go. The episode starts off with Unique at the Chinese restaurant, and he does exactly what I said he was going to do in the last video. He takes them back inside, takes all the work from the barrels and the money from the safe, and they die together real cozy. Next we have Jukebox back home from the army, eating like a fiend like her father. He's concerned because the people from the army are on their way to the house to find out what's going on and why she went AWOL. But Jukebox isn't worried at all.
It's all good. I'ma handle them.
When they get there, they threaten Jukebox with the military police. Jukebox tells them that she's gay, and they let her out of the army. Just like that. Kanan's able to visit his grandmother, and he's able to convince her to tell everybody how sick she is. At the same time, B. Rilla is freeloading over at Lou's house, sleeping on his couch. Lou wants him to leave, but he says he doesn't have any money. So Lou tells him they're going to go see Lowell, the label owner, to try to get him a place to stay. Meanwhile, Jukebox is back at the house, getting rid of her past. Marvin drives by the Chinese restaurant where they're slinging out of and sees a crime scene. He quickly goes and reports it to Rock and lets her know they don't know who did it. Rock also tells him the information that Andre told her before he got taken out by Unique. That is that the feds are watching the fish store and they saw Marvin coming out of there by himself. Marvin says it wasn't him.
Then they lying, just like they always do.
He was acting like he wasn't concerned, but he was very worried. Crystal going back up to Kanan's apartment is met with Unique busting out of the door.
An excuse me would be nice.
Yeah, she got up out of there. Rock meets with the owner of all the Chinese restaurants that she works out of. He's scared and doesn't want to do any more business with her. They killed his family at the last Chinese restaurant. Rock tells him not to worry, it's probably just some kids trying to rob the place and they did something dumb.
Dumb? This was murder.
I know that wasn't supposed to be funny, but that made me laugh. But anyway, Rock lets him know that there's no getting out. They're married now, and he is terrified. Back at Kanan's house, Crystal tells Unique about the scary dude, which is Unique, and says she doesn't feel safe there. Kanan says, well, if you don't feel safe, you can go back and live with your moms.
So her punk-ass boyfriend can put his dick-filling hands on me again?
So now we know a little bit of her story. But she's able to convince him to go look at some other apartments so he doesn't have to work where he lives. And that search for an apartment, I believe they devoted too much time to in this episode. So I'm definitely going to skip that. But in a nutshell, the first guy was a white guy, he was racist, didn't want to show them the apartment. The next guy was Asian, they paid him cash and he was happy. Okay, now this scene. They're at Lowell's office. B. Rilla and Lou are there to try to get B. Rilla some money for his apartment. Lowell and B. Rilla starts arguing. B. Rilla says something to the effect of him being a culture vulture, and Lowell goes on this long rant about his people and what they got to this country and all this kind of, it just didn't flow right. And then when he thought it was over, he started back again and didn't ask him if, did you hear anything I said or did you care about it? And next scene.
Andre, give me a call.
Rock is panicking and she calls her lawyer Andre but doesn't know he's dead yet. And she leaves a message on his machine asking about his contacts from the NYPD, which could bite her in the butt later. And now Jukebox is enrolling in college. See what I mean? This episode just didn't, I'm not sure if they knew what they wanted to do with this episode. Or should I say they decided to go a real roundabout way to get Jukebox into some trouble. Because somehow, coincidentally, she runs into her friend that she used to boost jackets with. And by boost, I mean steal if you didn't know. But he invites her to hang out with the entire crew that they used to run with.
Rich and his sonny, nigga.
So for some oddball reason, Marvin goes and breaks into the nephew's apartment, the same nephew that was stealing drugs from the Chinese restaurant, asking him if he killed his aunt and his uncle. Come on, man. But what he finds out is that those two had a daughter, and that reminds him of Gerald's daughter. So he tells the nephew to go and check on the daughter.
Go check on the little girl. She gonna need you now. She just lost everything.
Does this sound like foreshadowing to you? Is this some type of parallel with him and Jukebox? Jukebox not gonna have anybody to turn to when he's gone?
Kanan here.
Then we have this disrespectful scene when Rock meets Crystal for the first time. Rock tries to tell Crystal to give Kanan a message, and this is what Crystal's response is.
You asking me or telling me?
Rock tried to be nice, even though she tried to sass her again.
Didn't know you moved in.
Like I said, I'm not here all the time.
Kanan gotta check his girl.
Let Kanan know I came by. I'm sure you're not gonna see each other again soon.
She said, you and I are gonna see each other again soon. All right. Kanan and Jukebox are hanging out, catching up from the time she was in the military. Jukebox says anybody that has a problem with her liking girls can come get some.
That's what I'm talking about, Juke. Be you, bro.
Then she asks about Famous, but Kanan has no idea where he is. Marvin goes to see Early Tyler to find out if he has any information on what happened at the Chinese spots.
First time I'm hearing about it right now.
He gives Early some cash to find out some information. He also asks Early to contact his child services connection so he could find Gerald's daughter. Rock goes with Lou to therapy to his AA meeting. Lou gets up and gives a speech about how he was about to off himself while he was in therapy. Rock hears this for the first time. Jukebox meets up with her old grand larceny crew, but doesn't seem she wants to be there. So she goes to a nearby gay bar and meets some people. Unique goes back to Early Tyler to pay him his money, but Early's a little uneasy because he now knows that he robbed Rock's spot and killed 2 people for that money. But of course he takes the money anyway and tells Unique he's playing with fire. But Unique tells him he is the fire and he's going to burn everything down. You know, in the Power universe, one thing that they do that I hate is that every time somebody gets ready to either get taken out or something catastrophic happens to them, they have them moving extremely goofy. And Marvin is moving like a universal goofball right now. He goes and finds Gerald's daughter at her school.
Uncle Marvin!
Marvin feels bad for the little girl. He asks her about her new foster parents and gives her an envelope with his number and some money in it. Marvin's time on this show is definitely coming to an end. Check out the video I made the other day and find out why I'm saying this. Rock is at one of the Chinese locations with her security when Quan shows up. He lets her know that they gotta find out who hit that other Chinese spot and tells her that she's replaceable. Rock and Marvin sit down with Joaquin to find out how they can become distro like Quan. He tells them to check out their friend from Baltimore, meaning Tremont, because he has somebody in Asia that supplies him well at a good price. Meanwhile, we still have Vanessa and Jerome being stalked by Unique outside of their mother's house. He leaves an envelope with money in it for them. Doesn't ring the doorbell. When's he gonna go see this woman? OC's at Kanan's apartment and he winds up a victim of a push-in. This happened to me and my mother when I was a kid living in the pink houses in Brooklyn. They usually wait in the stairwell and wait for you to open your door, push you in and rob you. But Unique is on that stick 'em up thing and closes the door behind him. That might be the last we see of OC. This last part is the dinner scene where Joyce decides to tell the family she has cancer. The rest of the family is devastated. Rock wants to know why all of a sudden you're telling us this now. She's like, I'm out.
Fuck this.
She takes off in a hurry. She's obviously devastated but won't show it, and Kane is sitting there with a goofy look on his face. But let me know what you think in the comments. Was I expecting too much? I just don't think this episode delivered the way I thought it would.
Diamonds dancing on my neck, pull up all black. Told you meet me where you at, never call back. It's you up more like a beauty queen, what you do to me? A heavy heart like a fantasy, my Infinity G.